7 handicap, looking to increase club head speed with the driver and also eliminate any fade or slicing with all clubs. And after looking at this swing a couple times, I saw the high-handed position and thought that looks like a hockey swing, and confirmed by the doxing of your shirt here. So this is a rather upright over-the-top swing, 5 to 7 degrees out to in on your path, with some variability in that club face, which can lead to all kinds of directional issues. So the best place to start is right here with this face on, or the down the line view with the iron, to look at your setup and actually just jump right into our tour comparison, where for a lefty there's not a ton of options, but for someone with your move and the skill set that you have, I believe being a hockey player, you can try to adjust to a more Bubba Watson style swing, where your takeaway first move is going to work with the club and hands immediately to the upright position. We'll get a similar line for Bubba here, and watch that the takeaway will be more on plane with a lot of turn and rotation in the upper body, bringing that hand path a bit more inside. So you could definitely get those hands to work a bit more around your body by getting your hips to clear and shoulders to tilt down a bit more. That flat right shoulder tilt is causing your hands to start picking right up and really blocking your face. You never really want to see your hands get too far high and your arm position that far away from a parallel line. So as Bubba continues up to the top, starting more inside, will continue to work inside with the hand path, but here comes the vertical part of his swing, where he does get into a very high-handed position, but note all of the body turn and twist of the hips. The belt buckle is well turned back, and there's a lot of flex in that knee. You're getting the flex in the right knee, but not really pulling your left knee back to turn your hips open and get that depth. So if you can get to a flatter top of the backswing position, the movement on the way down will be similar to a wrist shot, where you're trying to get the club to snap from the inside, this being the goal, the target somewhere in the middle, looking to hit high left corner by coming from the inside and snapping the wrist round. If that's your hockey blade, you really just have to rotate the blade around to finish the job, coming more from the inside. It will change a lot if you change your path to go from out to in to out, and it will necessarily require you to rotate that club face a lot more than what you're doing. So as you then make your transition, the high-handed position does not come down on the path at all. It stays away from the outside, and all you can do is try to hang on to that face and jump out of it. So there's nothing you can do to change your downswing with that top position. You have to change that top position to try to get a little bit flatter and get that right arm to match that line. So we'll take Bubba away for now. We might pull him back up later with the driver, but we'll jump on now to your face-on view with that driver, this next one here. Here we go. So you have the ideas of what it requires you to hit the driver on the way up, tilting back behind, straight arm position, ball way out and forward of the stance, so you're set up for success. With this tilt line, let's mark a couple positions, and right on that lead hip. Now let's start your takeaway and get you rotating. Initially, your first move is to get that weight to slide the hips back and sway. That stops you from turning, and that stops you from getting the arms deep at the top. Deep is that other parallel line that we just drew. So watch out for this slide, because the slide stops the turn. Try to get set up in a similar fashion here, but don't let your right hip slide off the ball. Try to take your left hip and left cheek and rotate it towards target. If you pivot a little bit more purely, you'll be able to get more hip rotation and, like I said, more depth of the arms behind you. You don't really slide forward, and you try to stay tilted back behind to get the upward strike, but with that path coming so far across, you really work that hand path low and around your body, really tilting back and staying behind it. So the depth, again, I think will be a huge change for your driver swing. And here's the type of shot shape that happens when you're over the top. All of your lack of speed, I mean, looking at your ball speed and carry distances only getting 205, it's a very suboptimal launch from the path working across your body. So getting into that setup, reducing the flex, and maybe squaring up your shoulders. Right now the club is favoring that type of shot that starts right and cuts back just based on your setup. Closing everything up, and as you already know, working that hand path more inside. right away you have the ideas here. Your driver swing does start better, but then it really lifts up too high, gets too vertical, and stays looping over the top. So look to try to take a couple more videos of your swing with your top position staying here with that left arm. Your hand should be behind your heels, and that club will be somewhere in a similar position, but just not letting that trail elbow disconnect, and then it's all over from there. So get flatter, get more into out, and then once you do that, you're likely going to hit some terribly awful shots that go to the left by changing your path and not changing your face. So then it will be on your hands and timing to be able to, like I said with Bubba, release those wrist close and bring that ball back. Good luck. Sendaswing.com.